Now, so now in this case, I would like to update the records, okay, inside the child objects. Whenever I am going to be changing the account record details, I want to update the respective contacts here. So now which fields you would like to update? Now we can able to specify these fields here. So now I would like to update the contact records here. Okay, I would like to update the contact records. So now update the records, okay, which meets the criteria here. So now we can specify the criteria if you want. I don't want to check any conditions over here. Now, so now here in this case, specify that here. Now, so I want to update that field values here. So no need to verify any criteria here. I would like to update this field values. So now find the fields. Which field you would like to update now? Now I would like to specify that I am going to be updating the respective contact records inside this, where I would like to specify if the account record ID value is matching with that means inside my contact, if the account record ID is matching with this respective account record ID. Account record ID field. Now, so now choose. Now let's see. So now what exactly the condition now here? So now here in this case, I want to verify. So now here I am going to be updating the contacts. Which contacts you want to update? All the contact records? No, only the related contact records. How do you know this is a contact which is associated with this account then? How do we know? Record ID. That means that account record ID will be storing inside that respective contact account ID field. So I want to match both the condition. That means if the account records ID value and then in this contact records account ID field value, both are matching or not. If both are matching, then I want to synchronize the value from the account to that contact here. Okay, now. So now let's see. I would like to check the condition here. I would like to verify the account record ID field. I would like to check the conditions here. I want to update the records which are matching with these conditions here. I want to check for that field. Now, so let me add that. Update the records which meets all the conditions. Or else you can able to specify that criteria for updating the records. What records you would like to update, you can specify. I don't want to check any criteria directly. I would like to add that field values. Now, I am going to be updating the contact records phone number field. Business phone. I would like to collect that value from the account records phone number field. The phone number field. So now here, whatever the contact records business phone field is available, and then in this field I would like to collect the account record phone number value and the fax field, business fax. I would like to collect the value from the account record facts field reference. Account records facts. Okay. Like the similar way, if you want to copy that billing address information also we can copy, depends upon your requirement. I want to copy that the mailing city or the mailing street also, whatever you want, depends upon your requirement here. So now we can able to specify the mailing country and the mailing fields also we can able to copy. Mailing city I would like to copy here. Field reference from the billing city. Okay, like that. Depends upon your requirement, what field values you would like to copy here. So now in this case, as soon as whenever I'm going to be updating that record, account records, if the account record is matching with these conditions, that means if the account record phone value or the fax value has been modified, okay, at that time, I want to collect all the associated contact records. In these contact records, I would like to copy that account record phone number into the business phone field. Account record fax number into the business fax field, and then I'm collecting that account records a billing city value into that mailing city field of my contact. So we have to map this reference, nothing but from where you are collecting the value, in which field you are going to be updating the values here. Okay, we can specify that the source and the target where you would like to update. Now click on save button. Now, so once you click on save, your action has been added successfully. Synchronize, okay, the details. Now the action is ready. Once the action is ready, then click on activate button to make your process to be in active status. Now click on activate. Now my process is in active status right now. Okay. Now, so let's go back to that setup and then try to update these options here. Go back to the setup. Now, take any of the account record. I'm taking this Edge Communications. For this Edge Communications, we are having some 10 contacts are available, but the phone numbers are different, fax numbers are different. Now I'm changing this account record phone number to all or 5. I'm changing the phone value to all or 5s. As soon as once you click on that save button, it has to be updated that account record phone number value. The same phone number has to be reflecting into all the associated contacts also. In all the 10 contacts, it is going to reflect in that the phone number value by default here. And the fax number also has been copied. Okay, now. So in this case here, for example, I'm changing this value. So let's go to my account. I'm changing this value. I'm changing the fax value. Instead of 9s, I want to copy all the values to some 7s. I'm changing this value. Whenever I'm changing this value, automatically this value has to be get reflected here. It is going to be reflecting into the associated contacts fax number field also. But previously, when I tried to do this one through workflow rule, it is not supporting. But now with the help of process builder, we can able to do this operation also. Okay, without writing any code, without using the trigger also, we can able to update the fields from child to parent and from parent to child also. It may be lookup, it may be master detail also. Both are possible. Okay, clear? Now. Next one. Here I am indicating that account.phone, account.fax. Okay, this is the condition we have to use in order to synchronize the data from account to the respective contact records. Okay, so let me give you a small use case. Try this use case. Okay, I have given that information on parent to child. Try with child to parent now. Okay, now. Take a small use case. Configure a process configure a process on the contact object to copy the contact records email ID into the associated account records email ID field. Here I am indicating that in my account object we don't have any email ID field. There is no email field. Create a field here, the prerequisite here. I am giving the note point. Create a field in account object of email type. Okay. Create a field in account object of email type. Create one field as a prerequisite thing. First of all, create the field inside your account object which is of email data type. Once a field is ready, because here inside my account we don't have that email ID field is available. Now, as soon as whenever I am going to be entering some contact record, whatever the email ID we have entered, that email ID value I want to copy into the respective account record. That means from where to where I am updating now? Child to parent here. Okay, now, in this case, what is the association that we have between these two objects? And account and contact, what is the association? Lookup association. Even though the lookup, I want to update the value from child to parent here. Okay, but workflow won't support, but we can do with the help of process builder. Okay? Try this use case here. Okay? Now, so this is the way we are going to be using that process builder inside your Salesforce instance. Okay? So during the development, we'll see a few more actions like as invoking the Apex classes also. For that one, you should be aware of Apex programming. And we have to prepare some invocable methods. Then only we can able to invoke that. There, I would like to take up a scenario during the development. So whenever we are going to be creating the record, I want to share the record automatically to the people through Apex sharing. How to share that record, we'll see by using the process builder at that time. And during the workflows here, generally, whenever we are configuring the workflow rules, so the approval processes, we have to submit each and every record manually to the approval. But I don't want to do that. I want to make it automated. Whenever I'm creating a record, once you click on save button, automatically record has to send for the approval process also. At that time, how to use that, we'll see during the approval process concept also. Okay, that's what here, some concept we are making it the pending, because during the topics, we'll see those topics here. Okay, so don't think like we're skipping those actions over here. Okay, during that concept, we'll see those actions also. Okay, the next one. The next one is data migration. Data migration. This is also we can call it as a data management. Okay, data management. Now, so what is this data migration basically? Migrating in the sense what? Transferring. That means copying, moving. What we are migrating here? Data. Data means what? Data means what? Okay, then what we are migrating? Inside my organization, I'm having so many features. Like we have created some applications, tabs, objects, fields, validation rules, formulas, workflows, processes, sharing rules. So many things we are implementing that. We are migrating these things? No. Whenever we are going to be migrating the features, we have two types of migration. One is data migration Second one is code migration. Okay, code migration. Code migration is called as deployments. Code migration in the sense deployment feature. Okay, now, then data means what? Code means what? Data in the sense simply records. Okay, records. Code means what? Features, whatever we have implemented. Like the applications, objects, fields, tabs, validation rules, workflow rules, sharing rules, assignment rules, process builder, page layouts, all these things. These are comes under Apex classes, Visual Force pages, triggers, and batch classes, web services, APIs. These are all comes under the code. So now we are not migrating the code, we are migrating the data. For data migration, we have some different tools and different processes are available. For the code migration, we are having different tools, different processes are available. Code migration is different, data migration is different. So now code migration we are going to be discussing at the last. Okay, at the last of development, we are going to discuss about how to migrate that code or how to migrate that whole features which are configured from your organization to another organization. Nothing but from my development environment to the client's system, client's organization. How can we deploy installations? How to migrate that code? We'll see as part of deployment concept here. So now we are going to be discussing about data migration over here. Data means what? Simply records. We are going to be migrating the records, moving the records from one application to another application, one instance to another instance, one environment to another environment, one system to another system, one object to another object. At that time, how can we migrate the data? In order to migrate the data, nothing but migrating the records or copying the records or moving the records between the multiple systems or the multiple environments, multiple sandboxes or the multiple disparate systems, then we can go with the data migration. Data migration is used to move the records from one application to another application or one object to another object or one environment to another environment, one sandbox to another sandbox or one system to another system also, whatever. In order to move the records, we are using this data migration process here. Okay. Now, so in this case, how can we migrate the data here? How can we migrate the data? In order to migrate the data, we are having so many features are available. We are performing, migrating means what? We are performing some operations over here. Okay. We are performing some operations on your records. So now, generally on those object records, what kind of operations we can do? We can create some records. We can modify some records. We can delete some records. We can restore the records back to the object. We can fetch the record. We can perform some DML operations here. Now in this case, whenever I'm going to performing the operations on my records, we have page layouts. Okay, we have page layouts. Through page layouts also we can do some operations here. Then we can raise the question, for why do we need to go with the data migration? Why can't we do with the help of page layout? By using page layout, how many records I can create at a time? Only one. Through page layout, how many records we can modify at a time? Only one. Through page layout, how many records we can remove at a time? Only one. Not multiple. But sometimes I want to insert some collection of records. Like, for example, assume that I'm working in a marketing team. Today, we have conducted a campaign in some Amirpet regarding our new products. So now during that campaign, so many people has visited. Those people details we have collected in terms of the various forms. These forms we have given to the data entry people. Data entry people are going to be copying the whole information they are storing inside an Excel sheet. Okay. So now this Excel sheet I want to send to my marketing head. That means here I would like to inform to my marketing head or my marketing manager. So now their marketing manager, today we have conducted the campaign in Amirpet. So these are the various prospect people. These are the various lead people who showed interest in our products. These are the people has visited our campaign here. So this is the first name of the lead, last name of the lead, and the title, and then his contact number, email ID, address, which product they are interested, the whole information we have collected. These are the details. So this is the Excel sheet. Now what I want to do, this Excel sheet data I would like to dump into my lead object here. How? How can we do this one? Do I need to open each and every, do I need to open that Excel sheet and do I need to type this record manually here? No. Because we are having so many marketing teams are available. They're conducting the campaigns in different places. So if they're giving the whole information, then typing this whole information is manual is very difficult for me. For that one, I need a mechanism that I don't want to create each and every record one by one. Whatever the Excel sheet is available, that Excel sheet record I would like to dump into my object in one shot. Okay, whatever the data, whatever the records information that you have entered in the Excel sheet, the whole data I would like to dump into my object in one shot here. I need that mechanism so that I can able to perform the operations on multiple records in one shot. Then how can we dump that here? That means I want to insert all these records as new. Sometimes I want to update multiple records. Sometimes I want to remove some multiple records also. Sometimes I want to export the records also. Then how can we do this? But if I'm using that normal page layout won't support, because page layout is allowing me to perform the operations on only one record at a time, not on multiple. But I need a mechanism where I would like to perform the operations on bulk. On the bulk records, I would like to perform the operation. It may be insertion, updation, deletion, exporting, whatever, anything. I want to perform all these operations. So in this case, whenever if you want to perform the operations on the bulk records, then we can go with that data migration, or this is also called as a data management feature in Salesforce. Okay, manage the data, manage the records. It may be insertion, updation, deletion, exporting, whatever. You can perform all the operations. In this case, whenever we are performing the operations on your records, the first way is we are using the page layout. But the page layout will allow us to perform the operations on only one record at a time. Okay, only one record at a time, not multiple here. Only one record. We can insert only one record at a time. We can update only one record at a time. We can delete only one record at a time, not multiple. But sometimes I want to update the multiple records also. For that one, you can raise a question, sir, we have Apex programming. Through programming, we can write some code and we can update the multiple records. But we can do that. But there, it has given that limitation that at a time, upon inserting the records into the object, maximum of 10,000 records we can insert at a time, not multiple. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, like that we have to insert. But I'm having some lakhs of records are available. If I'm inserting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 like that, it will take more time for me. For that one, I don't want to go with that, the Apex programming here. So now in this case, we can use that second feature, Apex programming. Apex programming will allow us to perform the DML operations on maximum of 10,000 records at a time, not more than that. Okay? Now, it allows us to perform the DML operations on maximum of 10,000 records at a time. 10,000 records at a time, not multiple. Now, in this case here, do we have any other way? But here Apex programming is purely coding part. We have to write some code in order to insert, in order to update, in order to delete, in order to perform the operations. But I'm not a technical guy. I don't know any programming. Then how can we do this? Without using any programming, without writing any code, can't we do this? Yes, we can do that. There is a possibility. For that one, as part of this Salesforce, they have given a feature called as Data Import Wizard. Okay, Data Import Wizard. So what is this Data Import Wizard? Data Import Wizard, nothing but importing. Importing means what? Inserting or updating. Only these two operations we can do. We can't export the data and then we can't delete the records from that object here. Only insertion, updation we can do. So now Data Import Wizard is a feature which has been given by Salesforce by default, okay, which is an on-demand feature. Okay, which is not a on-premise, it is an on-demand feature, which is used to perform the operations on the multiple records in one shot. There is a possibility, but along with that, there are some limitations also. Okay, now, in this case, data import wizard will allow you to perform only the import operations. Okay, only import operations. Import operations means what? Only insert and then update. We can't do delete operation. We can't fetch the records from that object here. These two operations will not be allowed. Only the insert and update operation will be getting allowed over here. And the two, data import wizard will allow you to perform the operations on maximum of 50,000 records at a time, not more than that. I'm having some 20 lakhs records are there. If I'm inserting the records by using this data import wizard, 50,000 and then 50,000 and then 50,000 and then 50,000, like that, we have to insert the records here. We have to update the records in terms of 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, like that. But when you take a banking organization, so now tell me, in a single day, how many transaction entries will be created? Billions of transaction entries. When you go to that any banking organization, they might be having some millions of customers who are performing so many transactions every day. When you combine all those transaction entries in one day, they will be having some billions of records, millions of records also. In this case, if I'm processing 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, it will take longer time. It will be causing some huge network traffic also. For that one, I need a mechanism where I can able to process more number of records as well. Okay, now, in this case here, when coming to the data import wizard will allow you to perform the operations on maximum of 50,000 records at a time. That too, it won't support all the objects here. It won't support all the objects. It will be supporting all your custom objects, but when coming to the standard object, it is supporting only a few standard objects, like as account object, contact object, lead, and then solution, and the campaign member. Only these 5 standard objects it will support. Remaining standard objects it won't support to insert. If you want to insert the records inside your, like as inside your opportunity object, it won't support. If you want to insert the records inside your case object, it won't allow. That means it is supporting only 5 standard objects along with all the custom objects here. Okay, now let me show you practically in this case here what objects it will support right now. Now let's see. So where is this data import wizard option is available? Let me show you that. Data import wizard option is available inside your setup menu. Go to the administrator menu in the left panel. Go to the data management and then click on data import wizard. Okay, data import wizard. So this is the feature which has been given by Salesforce here. It's an on-demand tool which is used to manage some bulk records inside your object here. Okay, now, so let me go to the navigation process. Go to the setup menu. Go to the administrator menu in the left panel. Go to the data management. Here we are having an option called as data import wizard. Okay, data import wizard. Data import wizard is an on-demand feature which has been given by Salesforce in order to perform only the import operations, only insert and update. Okay. Now, when you go to this data import wizard, it will support only few standard objects here, not all. Okay. Now in this case here, launch the wizard. So now in this case, let's see. It is supporting only these standard objects here. Accounts and the contacts, leads, and the solution object campaign member. Only these standard objects it will support. Remaining objects it won't support here. When you go to the custom objects, all the custom objects it will support. Candidates, customers, hiring manager, position, all these custom objects it will support. But when coming to the standard, only few standard objects it will support. These are the standard objects supporting by the import wizard. But if you want to insert the records into the case, solution, order, contract, at that time, this import wizard won't work. It won't support the user. This is a common question in every interview. Okay, in the certification 201 also, they will give you that the 4 answer. From that one, they will be giving one wrong answer here. So now from this below object, one object will not be supporting by the data import wizard. Please list out that object here. Because data import wizard will be supporting to import the records in either account, contact, lead, and the solution campaign member. Only these 5 standard objects it will support along with all the custom objects here. Remaining objects it won't support. Okay. Now, in this case here, now make a note of this one. It allows us to manage the records in account, contact, lead, solution, and the campaign member. Campaign member, objects, and all custom objects. All the custom objects it will support. When coming to the standard objects, only few standard objects and then all the custom objects it will support. And then how many records you can process at a time? Maximum of 50,000 records we can process at a time by using data import wizard. It allows us to process maximum of 50,000 records at a time, not more than that. And the two, this is only in the form of, nothing but that is in the form of like, so only that 50,000 records only here. So not multiple, only the import operation, not export. Sometimes I want to delete, sometimes I want to export the record, then what we can do? For that one here, in order to export the record, Salesforce has given one more feature, export wizard. That means data export. Data export wizard. By using this data export wizard, we can perform only the export operation, nothing but retrieval. And we can remove the records here. Okay? Now, by using this feature, we can fetch, we can export the records. Export the records to the local system. In order to export the records to the local system, we are going to be using that data export wizard. But here they have given the two options to you. You can export the records manually. You can export the records based on scheduling process also, both. Okay? We can make the process scheduling here. Like every day evening 6 o'clock, it has to collect all the today's data stored into the local system somewhere. Okay? So that I want to take the backup of the data every day. But in this case, I may not be present every day. I may be in leave. I may be in vacation. So at that time, who will take the backup here? I need to delegate to some other people. If those people are busy, then they can't take up the backup here. Suppose if I'm not taking the backup yesterday, today morning if the system has been crashed, then I will be losing yesterday's data here. For that one, I want to take the data on regular basis. Daily or every 1 hour or every week or every month, whatever. I want to take the backup of the data here. Or else, if my system has been crashed, then the whole data will get lost. That's what here, whenever you are using your mobiles also, whatever the mobile contacts are available, we are going to be taking the backup of the contacts to your Google Drive. So that we can synchronize the contacts to the Google Drive. So that, suppose if your phone has been dead, okay, if because of some virus, or if you lost the phone, then you can get back the data from the Google Drive into your new phone here. Whatever the WhatsApp that we are using, the WhatsApp chat history also we can able to take the backup into Google Drive. Based on some frequency, based on maybe daily, it may be weekly, it may be monthly, it may be quarterly, whatever we can take the backup also here. Suppose if you are purchasing a new phone, then if you want to get all this conversation history, we can get it from the Google Drive itself. We can import all the chat history from the Google Drive to your new phone also. The possibility is there. Like the similar way here also, whenever I would like to take the export, nothing but I want to take the backup of the records here. For that one, we are using this data export wizard. We can able to take that, exporting the records in terms of regular process, that means manual, or we can make it schedule also. For that one, Salesforce has given a feature called as Data Export Wizard. Now, let's see. When you go to the data management, we are having an option here. We are having the data export. So once you click on this data export, we can able to use that. We can able to export that records right now, or we can able to make it a schedule also. Based on the scheduling process also, we can able to take the backup of the data every day. The data will be storing inside your local system in the form of a .csv file, comma separated value file. It's like as an Excel sheet. The whole data will be collecting from the table, storing inside the Excel sheet. That Excel sheet is storing inside your local system somewhere based on the path which you have specified. That possibility is there. Even though I may not be present today, it will take the backup automatically on that scheduling time. It will be placing inside the local system here. Okay. So now for that reason here, we are going to be using the data export wizard. So now here in this case, we can able to export the data also. We can manually, or we can able to do that scheduling process also. Okay. Now, so for that one, we are having the multiple features are available to manage the records. Okay. Now make a note here. We can export the records into the .csv files. .csv means what? What is the full form of CSV? Comma separated value. Comma separated value file. Okay, value files. We can export the records manually, or we can make it scheduling. Okay, or we can make it scheduling process also. Based on some schedule intervals also, we can able to export the records as well. That possibility is there. So now this feature is available inside this navigation. Data export. Now in this case, to import the records, a separate feature. To export the record, a separate feature. But don't we have any specific feature which is used to perform both import and export? Yes, there is a feature that is called as data loader. Okay, data loader. So data loader is an on-premise tool which has been given by Salesforce. Okay, data loader is an on-premise tool which has been given by Salesforce, which we need to download, we have to install it. Okay, data loader tool we have to install into a local system first. Then only we can use that. But this data loader tool is giving more capability. It is giving more capability that we can perform both import and export operations on all standard, all custom objects. Okay. Data import wizard is supporting only few standard objects, up to 50,000 only at a time. But data loader is having more capability that data loader will allow you to perform both import and export operations both. No need to use two separate features. For the importing, one separate feature. For the exporting, one separate feature. We no need to use that. Both the features are available combinedly inside the data loader tool, which has been given by Salesforce, which is an on-premise tool. Okay, it's not on demand, it's an on-premise. That means we have to install into your local system, then only we can start utilizing the data loader tool here. Okay, now, so in this case, data loader is an on-premise tool. Make a note over here. It is an on-premise tool to perform both import and export operations. Export operations on all standard, and all custom objects. It is an on-premise tool to perform both import and export operations on all standard objects and all custom objects here. That is, we need to install this tool. install the tool into the local system. We need to use to perform the operations. In order to perform the operation, first of all, we have to install this tool into a local system. Then only we can start utilizing this tool to perform the operations on your object records. So on what object records you would like to perform the operation, we have to specify that. Okay, now, so in this case, whenever if you are going to be using this data loader to perform the operations, then at that time, how many records we can able to process at a time? By using data loader, we can able to process maximum of 5 million records at a time. Okay, maximum of 5 million records at a time. That means 50 lakhs records we can process at a time. Okay, now in this case, even though I can say 50 lakhs records will be processing by data loader at a time, that means will it be considering all these 50 millions or 5 millions of records inside a single transaction? No. It will be dividing the record to the various small pieces. That is called as batch. Okay. Like for example, come to a general scenario. So now after the session, okay, I am going to a hotel to have some breakfast. So now I went to the hotel, I have ordered some food, and then the waiter has, okay, provided the food to me. The food is available inside my plate. Now can I have the whole food at a time? No. Whatever the food is available, we are going to be dividing the various small pieces. We can able to have that piece here. Okay, one piece and then another piece and then piece, like that. Here we can able to complete the food. Like the similar way, even though I am giving that the 50 lakhs of records to my data loader in terms of an Excel sheet, data loader will divide that 50 lakhs record into various small pieces. Okay, that each piece is called as a batch. Okay, that each piece is called as a batch. Each batch will be having some set of records inside this. Okay, each batch will be having some set of records inside this. In this case, upon dividing the records to the various batches, so now data loader is using two APIs. One is Apex API, second one is Bulk API. Okay, Apex API and Bulk API. If it is using Apex API, then at that time, each batch can have maximum of 2000 records, not more than that. Okay, each batch can have maximum of 2000 records. If it is using Bulk API, at that time, each batch can have maximum of 10,000 records inside that batch. Okay, each batch can have maximum of 10,000 records inside this. These are the limitations here, differentiations. Then in this case, by default, data loader will use that Apex API. Now, I don't want to use Apex API, I want to use Bulk API in some cases. Because I'm having more number of records are there. Not only 2000, 2000, 2000, I want to consider 10,000 records at a time. How can we invoke? We'll see practically how can we inform to the data loader, please use Bulk API, please consider 10,000 records per batch so that we can able to process the records very fastly. Because I have some more records to be get processed. Okay, so at that time, how can we enable Bulk API also? We'll see practically in this case. Okay. So now in this case, generally, even though the data loader is going to be processing 5 million records, but internally it is going to be dividing the record to the various small batches. Each batch it will consider, it will be utilizing that concept here. Okay, clear? Now, so now make a note of this one. Data loader allows us to process maximum of 5 million records at a time. Data loader allows us to process maximum of 5 million records at a time. Internally, data loader will divide the 5 million records into the various batches of equal size. Upon dividing the batch records to the batches, it will use the below two APIs. Apex API, second one bulk API. In this Apex API, the minimum batch size is 1 and the maximum batch size is 2000. And then you can raise the question, sir, if I am not specifying any batch size, then what is the default batch size here? Default batch size is 200. In this case, if it is a bulk API, minimum batch size is 1, maximum batch size is 10,000, default batch size is 2000. Okay, these are the two APIs are available to process the records, Apex API and bulk API. To process the bulk records, we are using this bulk API. Now, in this case, you can raise a question, sir, we are able to process some 5 million records by using data loader, then how to supply these 5 million records to my data loader too? So now in this case, in which format we need to supply the records here? In this case, we have to supply the records in the form of a file called as .csv file, comma separated value file. That means, as of now, data loader is purely supporting .csv file formats. Okay, data loader will be using the .csv file formats. Okay, that means we need to supply the records to the data loader in the form of a .csv file. That means, like as an Excel sheet, we need to prepare that data here, and then that Excel sheet we need to supply to the data loader. Okay, in the form of .csv file. The file extension should be .csv, comma separated value file. Okay, it's looking like as Excel sheet only, nothing different here. Now, suppose for example, I have given some 1 lakh record inside my Excel sheet. Now I save that file with the extension .csv file. Now this CSV file I have given to my data loader as input to insert the records here. Upon inserting the record, sometimes if some record has been failed, then for few records, I did not supply the value for the mandatory fields. At that time, will those records will be acceptable? No. Then in this case, what will happen here? Only those records will be getting failed, or the entire 1 lakh records will be getting failed? Only those records. That means what? Whenever data loader is processing the records, internally it is using partial processing mechanism. Okay? It is using partial processing mechanism. Partial processing mechanism means what? Whenever I'm inserting some records inside my object, if any of the record has been failed, simply ignore that record, continue with the rest of the records as it is here. It is not maintaining the transactions. Okay, it is not maintaining the transaction. Suppose if it is maintaining a transaction, if any upon inserting the record, upon inserting some 1000 records, if 999th record has been failed, the whole previous records will be getting cancelled. That means the whole transaction will be getting rolled back. But in this case, we have to reprocess the 1000 records again. In the second time reprocessing, do we have any guarantee that all the 1000 records will be processed successfully? No. At that time, some other record may be getting failed. In this case, if I'm reprocessing the same records again and again and again, then in this case, then other people will be getting affected. Unnecessarily, we are wasting our resources. So that I want to utilize the resources very efficiently. For that one, upon processing the records into that object, data loader internally using the partial processing mechanism. So that upon inserting some 1000 records, some records may be getting failed. So now in this case, it is inserting the 1000 records here. Now as of now, it has inserted the 500 records successfully. 501th record has been failed. It will be ignoring that record. It will start with the 502. It will be inserting all the records here. 950 record has been failed. These will be ignored here. The remaining records will be getting processed. From out of this 1000 records, 2 records has been failed. Remaining 998 records have been processed. Then how do we know which record has been failed, which record has been processed successfully? For that one, once the operation has been done, data loader is generating 2 files to you as output. Okay, it is generating 2 output files to you. One is success file, second one is error file. Success file will be holding all the records information which has been processed successfully. Whatever the records has been failed, those failed records information is available inside that error file here. So that data loader will allow the partial processing mechanism. Because of that, it is generating 2 files as an output. One is success file, second one is error file. Success file will be holding all the records which has been processed successfully. That means records inserted successfully. Whatever the records has been failed, those failed records information is writing inside that error file. So at that time, go to the error file, you will be having the 2 records which has been failed, reprocess only those 2 records. In this case, you will be having the information also, why this record has been failed. Because you have supplied some wrong value. There is an annual revenue field is there, for that one you have supplied some string value, so it cannot be acceptable. Or else, there is a mandatory field is there PAN number, for that record you did not supply the PAN number field value. It will be indicating clearly, this is the reason because of which this record we are unable to insert here. It is indicating the reason. Based on the reason, we can rectify the code, we can rectify the values, and then assign the new values and reprocess those records here. Okay, that flexibility is there here. So in this case, whenever I'm going to be supplying the records to the data loader as input, upon insertion, upon updation, deletion, whatever also, we have to supply the input records in the form of .csv file. Once the operation has been generated, done, it is generating the 2 files over here. Success file, error file. Okay, both will be generated. Now sometimes you can raise a question. Sir, for example, I am supplying some 1000 records as input here. I want to insert. All the insert records have been inserted successfully here. Then will it generate 2 files? Yes, here also 2 files. Success file, error file. All the 1000 records have been inserted successfully. In this case, do we have any failed records? No. At that time, what is the error file contains? Empty. Nothing. Nothing but none of the record has been failed. All the records have been processed successfully. So that here, even though the operation, all the records are success, all the records are failed also, both the files will be generating automatically by default. If all the records are processed successfully, that error file contains simply empty. Nothing will be there inside that. Okay. If any of the record has been failed, that record information is there inside that error file. This is the record has been failed because of this reason here. So that we can modify that values, we can resubmit the record to reprocess it again. Okay. Clear? Now make a note of this one. We need to supply the records to the data loader in the form of .csv file. In the form of .csv file. Data loader internally uses the partial processing mechanism. Partial processing mechanism. Where if any of the record has been failed to process, then it won't cancel the transaction. It won't cancel the transaction. Simply, it will ignore that record. It will ignore the failed record and process the remaining records as usual, as it is. Simply, it will ignore the failed records and process the remaining records as it is. Now, once the operation has been done, it will generate two output files. The first one is a success file, which contains the recorded details which has been processed successfully. And the second one is the error file, which contains the details of the failed records, along with the error message, the reason why the records has been failed. So these are the two files will be generating by the data loader: success file and the error file. Both will be CSV files only. Success file is also a .csv file, and the error file is also a .csv file. That means data loader is purely supporting CSV files. It may be input, it may be output also. Both it will be in the form of .csv file format only. Okay. Now, so in this case, how can we use this data loader here? Then where is this data loader option is available? So now let's see. Data loader option is available inside this data management. Inside the data management, we are having this data loader option. Okay. Inside the data management, we are having the data loader option is available. There, Salesforce is providing two flavors of data loader tool to you. Okay. Data loader has been come up with the two flavors. Two flavors of data loader. Data loader has come up with the two flavors. First one is data loader for Windows, and the second one is data loader for Mac. So it depends upon the operating system that we have inside your device. We have to choose the respective flavor of data loader. If you are using that the Windows operating system, then we can go with that data loader for Windows. For the other systems, you have to use that data loader for Mac. Okay. So now, then how can we use this data loader tool? Now let's see practically here. Okay. First of all, we have to download the data loader tool and we have to install. Now, here the prerequisite is, in order to install the data loader tool, first of all, we have to configure Java into a local system. Because data loader tool has been purely built upon Java programming, so that we have to install the JRE. Okay, the JRE version 1.8. Okay, JDK and the JRE both 1.8 version. We have to install it to our local system. Okay, now we need to have the Java installation. In our device to install the data loader. To install the data loader into your local system, first of all, we have to install Java. So for the Java, recently we have one more security update is also available. We have to install that security update also. Security update for Java, that is Julu. So Julu is a security update we have to install additionally inside your local system to install the data loader tool. It's a security update here. Java and this Julu both you can install from the Oracle website. Previously Java is from Sun Microsystems. Now it is comes under Oracle. Okay. From the Oracle website we can able to install both Java on free, and then we can install Julu software also on free. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, whenever you are performing the operations on the bulk records, we are using the data loader tool. Now you can raise a question, sir, do we have any third-party tools are available through which we can able to perform the operations? Yes, there is a possibility here. Now the sixth one is the third-party tools. Okay, third-party tools. Like we are having so many third-party tools are available through which we can perform all the data management operations on your Salesforce objects. Like we can use the Workbench. Okay, we can use that Workbench tool also. Workbench.developerforce.com. The second one is we are using that dataloader.io. It's from MuleSoft. Okay. Now, data loader is a on-premise tool. Dataloader.io is a on-demand. Okay, it's a on-demand feature which has been given by a third-party organization called as a MuleSoft. But right now, MuleSoft is also comes under Salesforce. Okay. Now, the next one, we are having that SID.io. Okay, SID.io. And we have a command line interface tool is available that is called as data loader click. Data loader click. And then we can use some Informatica Cloud. Okay, Informatica Cloud. And then along with that, we can go with that App Exchange products. We have so many App Exchange products are available inside your App Exchange. From there, we can able to use any of the tool in order to perform the data management. And then we can contact the Salesforce partners also. Partners. So now by contacting the Salesforce partners also, we can able to perform these operations on some billions of records. Because if you're having a large enterprise which is having some billions of records, so which you are migrating from the other system to Salesforce, at that time, migrating billions of records is very difficult through data loader. At that time, we can contact the Salesforce partners. Those people are going to be utilizing some their own tools. With the help of those tools, they can able to dump all the billions of records into your Salesforce objects in one shot. There is a possibility here. So depends upon the requirement, we can able to go with any one of these options here. Okay. Now, so now let's see how can we use this data loader tool here. Okay, how can we use this data loader tool? Now, so now here in this case, how can we use the data loader tool and what kind of operations we can perform? So that already we have discussed, data loader is an on-premise tool which we have to install into your local system first, then only we can start performing the operations on your objects. Okay, now. So now let's see where exactly the data loader tool option is available. So let's go to your data management. Inside the data management, we are having an option called as data loader. Okay, data loader. When you go to the data loader, we are having the two options are available. Download data loader for Windows, download data loader for Mac. They have given some installation guide also here. Okay, some help information, help guide is also available for the Windows. There is a separate help guide. For the Mac, there is a separate help guide is available here. Okay. Now we have to download this data loader into your local system, then only we can able to process it here. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, now already I have installed the data loader into my local system here. Let me go to that. So now here on my local system, already I have installed that data loader. So the option is available, Apex data loader. Now open the data loader tool. So now this is the data loader user interface. This is the tool which has been given by Salesforce. Okay. So now by using this data loader tool, we can able to perform the various operations. Like we can insert some records, update the records, upsert the records, delete the records, hard delete, export all. Generally, hard delete button will not be visible to you on your system. Okay, already have enabled this one. So let me show you that. Now, generally, hard delete option will be looking like this, nothing but disabled state here. Okay, you will be having that. These are the 7 operations we can perform by using this data loader. Insert, update, upsert, delete, hard delete, export, and export all. So now in this case here, now make a note of this one. Operations can be performed through data loader. Data loader operations. What kind of operations we can perform? We can perform that insert operation, second one update, third one delete, fourth one upsert, fifth one undelete, sixth one export, seventh one export all. These are the 7 operations we can perform by using this data loader. Insert means what? We can insert some records into your object. You know these operations, nothing different. Data loader is purely practical part. Okay, purely practical part. Restoring. Sorry, here we don't have this undelete. This is a hard delete. Okay, hard delete option. Now, so now by using this data loader tool, we can insert the records into your object by using this insert operation. Update operation is used to update the records inside your object. Delete is used to remove the records from your object. Upset is used to perform both insert and update operation in one shot. It's a combination of both update and insert. Hard delete. What do you mean by hard delete? Removing the record permanently here. Okay, now if I'm using this normal delete statement, it will remove the record from the object. The deleted records will go to the recycle bin and it will be available inside the recycle bin for the next 15 days. But sometimes I want to remove the record permanently. I don't want to move it to recycle bin. I want to remove permanently from a Salesforce instance, which I don't want to get it back again. So at that time, we can go with the hard delete option. Hard delete is used to remove the records permanently here. Permanent deletion. In order to remove the records permanently, we are using that hard delete option. Export means what? Exporting the records in the sense, getting the records here. Okay, getting the records here. That means fetch the records from the object. Export all. Export all means what? All the records inside the object. Only all the records from all the objects, or only from that object, or what? All objects. Export all operation is used to fetch all the records available inside the object along with deleted records also. Okay, along with deleted records also. So not only fetching the records which are currently present inside the object, I want to receive that deleted records also from that recycle bin. Okay, now to fetch the records from the object, including the deleted records. Including the deleted records. If you want to fetch the deleted records also from that object, we need to use export all option. These are the various operations we can able to perform by using this data loader tool. Okay. Now we will see each and every operation one by one how to perform this. So now whenever you are going to be performing the operation through data loader is treating like as a third party tool, nothing but a separate tool, which is available in my local system. When the data loader is trying to be entering into your database, will you accept directly? No. Because if a third person is entering into my room, we won't accept. Because we are having our personal things are available here. To protect those things here, we are not allowing all the people. Only the authorized people. Only our relatives, friends, okay, colleagues, only those people can enter into that. Other people can't enter. Like the similar way, I'm having my object, inside my object I'm having so many records are available. If a third person, nothing but a tool is trying to be connecting to my database, I don't want to accept directly. First of all, they have to show their credentials. They have to show their identity. These are the authorized people who are having the rights to access the data from my database. For that one, whenever we are using the data loader also, okay, to perform the operations on your Salesforce objects, first of all, we have to show your identity. We have to show your credentials. So that we have to log in into the data loader tool first. Okay, we have to log in into the data loader tool first here. Now, log in into the data loader. Whenever we are logging into the data loader, we have two ways are available here. Okay, upon logging into the data loader, we are having two ways are available. The first way is we can log in into the data loader by using that password authentication. Second one is the OAuth authentication. Okay, open authentication. OAuth means what? Open authentication. And the second one is the password authentication. That means you have to enter your username and the password to log in into the data loader. From there itself, we can connect to the Salesforce objects and you can able to perform the operations on your Salesforce object records. So these are the two types of authentications are available in the data loader. Password authentication and the OAuth authentication. Now let's see how can we use this OAuth or password authentication, how to log in into my data loader tool over here. Okay. So now whenever you are trying to performing any operation, first of all, we have to log in into the data loader. Go to the data loader here. I want to get the records first. Click on export. As of now, I haven't logged into my data loader here. Click on export. When you click on export, it is providing the login screen to me. So now please select what type of authentication you would like to go ahead. Would like to go with OAuth authentication or the password authentication. Now I would like to go with that password authentication. Here we have to specify your username and the password. Okay, we have to specify username and the password. So what is my username and the password? Now whatever the username that and the password that you are using to log in into that application, Salesforce application, specify that username and the password. So this is the username here. Okay, I'm using this username and the password. Okay, password. I've entered the password. So now what is the URL you would like to log in? You want to log in into the production or sandbox? If it is a sandbox, we have to use test.salesforce.com. If it is a production, we have to use login.salesforce.com. Okay, now. So now sandboxes we are discussing during the development concepts here. How to create our own sandbox, how many types of sandboxes are available in Salesforce, how to map the connection between the sandboxes, how to do the deployments, we'll see practically over there. Okay, now. So in this case, I would like to log in into my production. That means our developer edition itself is a production here. Okay, then how do we know whether it is a production or sandbox? Just by looking into the URL here. If the URL is starting with either AP or NA or EU, okay? If the URL is starting with some either AP or NA or EU, then it is called as production. Suppose if the URL is starting with CS, then it is a sandbox. That means CS means customer sandbox. CS means customer sandbox. Sandboxes are available on the CS servers and the production servers are available on the servers which are having that name starting with either AP or NA or EU. It may be AP15, AP5, AP4, AP10, AP0, whatever. Like the similar way, NA region servers, EU region servers. Now, when coming to my developer edition, it is showing like as AP15. So that this is nothing but a production. So I'm indicating that for the production, we have to use that URL https login.salesforce.com. If it is a sandbox, we have to use a URL test.salesforce.com. Okay, test.salesforce.com. Test.salesforce.com. Now, so now here I am logging into my production. That means my developer edition, which is my production right now. So I'm logging into that, the developer edition. Okay, now. So I'm providing my credentials. I have entered the username. I have entered the password also here. Now observe what will happen. Once you click on this login button, observe what will happen in this case. It is validating my credentials. It is giving the message, check your username and the password. So if you still can't log in, contact your Salesforce administrator. It is giving the message. Even though I have entered the valid credentials. In this case, whenever we are going to be logging into that data loader with your credential, along with that we have to provide a security token also. Because here, whenever we are using the data loader, okay, from this data loader, you are sending the data to that Salesforce server, and from Salesforce server to your local system, you are exporting the data here. In this case here, what is the guarantee that you are an authorized person here? Might be some other people know your credentials. So at that time, how can we trust you? Upon sending the data, upon exporting the data from your local system to the Salesforce server, so if I'm sending the whole data in the same format, in middle of your system and the Salesforce server, there are so many hackers are available, those hacker people may be hacking your information also. Because of that, so hacker people will misutilize your data as well. In this case here, how can we protect your data? For that one, we need a key. Okay, we need a security mechanism here. For that one, we have to generate the security token also. We need to generate the security token. That security token we have to pass along with the password here. Upon logging into your data loader, okay, by using that, the password authentication, your password should be your actual password plus security token here. Okay, security token. So now how can we generate the security token now in this case? Here, what is the navigation? In order to generate the security token over here. To generate the security token, what is the navigation? Now let's see. So now, go to your name and expand it. For example, training batch. Click on my settings. Click on my settings link. Go to the personal and expand it. Go to the personal and expand it. Click on generate security token link. Click on generate security token link. And click on the button reset security token. Okay. Click on reset security token button. Then it will generate a security token. That security token will not be visible to you over there. That will be sending to that user's email ID automatically by default. Okay. Now, go to that email account. Open the email received from Salesforce. Copy the security token and paste inside the password. Paste inside the data loader along with the password. This is the navigation process. No, not required. One time we can do that. Once you are changing your password, automatically a new security token will be generating the Salesforce. Every 3 months, a new security token. So that upon logging into the data loader, every time we have to specify password and security token both. Done? Now. So now let's see how can we generate the security token and then how can we copy that and how can we log into our data loader now. So let's go to your Salesforce instance. On the top right corner, you will be having that your name, currently logged in username. Go to that my settings. Go to the personal in the left panel and expand it. You will be having an option, reset my security token. Click on the button, reset security token button. Now the security token has been generated. It has been sent that security token to the email ID of that user here. Now let's log in into the user account. So now you will be receiving an email notification from Salesforce regarding the security token here. So now this is the security token which has been generated by Salesforce, which is a case sensitive. Copy the security token, paste along with the password. Already I have entered the password, so now here I am pasting that. Okay, don't give any plus symbol, simply password and along with that, this token concatenate that security token. Now click on login. Now my login is successful. Previously, when I entered only the user login, nothing but the password, it is giving the wrong password. We have to enter both password and the security token also. Okay, to log in into that. Okay, now. So now let's go to the data loader tool now. From now we can able to perform the operations whatever you want, one by one. Okay, now. So from now onwards here we can perform that all the operations on your Salesforce objects by using data loader here. Now let's see how to perform each and every operation one by one. Now. So now let's take that export operation first, how to export the records, how to export all, simply the mouse pointers only, nothing else. Okay. Now, click on export button to export the record, nothing but I want to get the records into my local system here. Now before that, let me create a small folder to store that exported records. I am creating a new folder. Data loader exports. Okay, this is the folder in which I would like to store this all the exported records, success files, error files, everything I would like to place inside this. Now, so let's go to the data loader here. Click on the export button. How to export the record? Nothing but how can we fetch the records? Once you click on that export button, it is providing the list of objects from which you can able to select which object data you would like to export. Now it is populating so many object names here. Account object, candidate, case, contact, customer, like that it is populating the objects here. Now tell me, these are the only objects that we have in the entire Salesforce CRM and our custom applications? No. We have some hundreds of objects. Then why it is not showing all this one here? Now if you want to see those objects, these are the commonly using objects which you are utilizing as part of your application right now. If you want to see all the objects information, select the checkbox, okay, show all Salesforce objects. Now it is populating all the objects, whatever we have, all standard, custom, every object will be getting populated. So that the data loader will support to perform the DML operations on all standard and all custom objects in Salesforce. Okay, now. So now let's see how can we fetch the data here. I want to export some account records information. Okay, I want to export some account records information, so that I'm selecting the object as account. Now, once you are selecting this object, then now Salesforce is going to be exporting the data at that time where you want me to place that file. Whatever the exported records is available, exported records are storing inside a file, that file where you want me to place over here. In which location? Now, in my local system, I need to place. Where exactly you want to place in your local system? Select the target location here. Click on browse. Select the location. I want to store inside my local system. Inside my admin, here I am having the data loader exports folder we have created. Inside this folder, I would like to save this exported data here. Now click on save. But in this case, you can specify that here. Okay, what is that file name? If you want to give a different file name, then you can specify. I'm indicating like as accounts exports .csv. The extension should be .csv always. Now, I'm giving that file name as accounts _ some exports. Okay, account records I'm exporting here. Now into that CSV file. Click on save. Now this is the location which I have indicated here. Please collect the data from the account object and place inside that Excel sheet. That means CSV file. Place that CSV file in this location in my local system. Now click on next button. To select the columns, what data you would like to export. Inside my account object, we are having so many columns are available. What columns data that you want? You can specify that. I want to get the columns information. These are the columns are visible over here. We can select the columns here by selecting the checkbox. So select the columns here, whatever you want. Let's see. Whenever I'm selecting that column, automatically query will be getting prepared over here. Okay, select ID from the account. Now I'm selecting that name column. Automatically ID comma name from account. And then type column here. And I want the phone column, fax column, account number, website, industry, annual revenue, ownership, rating, and then I would like to fetch the active status. So these are the various columns information I would like to fetch here. Okay, these are the various columns information I would like to fetch. What columns information you would like to fetch? Select that column names. Now, along with that, upon fetching the data, if you want to apply any conditions, here you will be having the option of adding the conditions over here. If you want to apply the conditions like, for example, I want to fetch only those accounts whose rating is equals to some heart. At that time, we can specify the condition. Now specify the rating. Rating field value equals to heart. I want to add the condition. So now once you click on this add condition, okay, automatically the condition will be getting added where rating equals to heart. Now in this case, with the rating heart, I'm having 2000 records are there, for example. I don't want 2000, I want only some 20 records. At that time, here we can give that limit clause, limit 20. We can use that clauses also, limit clause. By using limit clause, we can indicate how many number of records has to be returned by this data loader here. Okay, now. So here I'm not using any conditions. I want to fetch all the account records, okay, from my account object here. Okay, now I'm clearing all the conditions. Now, so now once you specify the columns information, then click on finish button. As soon as once you click on finish, now it is indicating you have chosen to perform an export. You want me to continue or not? Yes. Click on yes. Now it is collecting the data. It is going to be indicating the confirmation. The operation has fully completed. There were 35 successful extractions and 0 errors. That means all the records has been extracted successfully. Totally 35 records has been exported and then 0 errors are available. Okay. Now, once you click on this OK, then you can go to that exported location here. Now the records will be available inside your file. File has been created successfully. It is writing the data into that exported file here. Now open that file. We can see the records. All the records we can able to see inside this. Okay. All the records you can see. So now this is the ID column, name column, type column value, phone column, fax, account number, website, industry, whatever the columns you have specified, all the columns data has been collected over here. So these are the IDs of those records. We are having totally 36 entries are available. Why 36 entries? It is showing 35, right? Why it is showing 36 entries here? First, nothing but first column is header column. The column names are available. That's what it is occupying one row. For that, it is showing totally 36 records here. Nothing but the first one will be the column header. From the second column, the second record row is from there onwards, it is showing the records. Totally 35 records are available inside your object here. All the 35 records we can able to export inside your local system. Okay. This is the way we can able to export the records from your object here. Okay. Clear? Now. The next one. So now for example here, assume that I'm having some account records inside my object. Totally 35 account records are there. Now inside the recycle bin, do we have any account records? We have some account records are available which has been removed here. This is one record, this is the second record, this is the third record, and this is the fourth record. 4 more records are also available inside my recycle bin. Now I want these records also. Then what we can do? Export all. Now, use that export all option. Click on export all. Select that account object. Specify the location where exactly you want to save that file. I want to indicate that account all accounts export all .csv. Okay. I want to save this file with the name accounts export all .csv. Click on next. Select the columns. That means what? In this Excel sheet, you will be getting the records which are deleted, which are not deleted also. I want to know which one is a deleted one, which one is a not deleted one. I want the indication. Then what is the column we need to use now? Is the deleted column, right? So now ID column is the deleted column here. Now I want to fetch the name of that record, type value, phone and the fax, website, industry and the annual revenue and the ownership, rating value, and I want the active status column. Okay, active status column. These are the columns information I want. Now click on finish. Now it is indicating that you have chosen to perform and export all operations here. Now I want to go ahead. Click on yes. Now it is collecting the records. How many records? 39 records has been exported right now. Click on OK. Now we can go to your target location. We can see the records also. When you go to this export all file, we can be able to see all the records whatever we have. Okay, we are having this all the records here. So now these are the records are available. From these records, how many records are available which are deleted one? 4 records are available. Undeleted one, 35 records. How can we differentiate this one? I want to add a filter over here. So now click on the filters option. Now the filter has been added here. Now I want to see only those records, okay, which has been deleted. That means is deleted equals to true. I want to select that true. Once you click on OK, now it is indicating only those records which has been deleted one here. These are the 4 records which are deleted ones, so that it is having that column value is the deleted column value as true. Suppose if you want to see the undeleted records here, just you can select that value false. Now we can see only those records. Totally 35 records are available out of 39. Okay. So this is a way we can able to identify which record is a deleted one, which record is a not deleted one here. Okay. Clear? Now. Now the next one. Now let's see how to perform the insert operation, update, upsert, delete, and hard delete one by one. Okay. Now. So I want to insert the records first. Okay. Then how to insert the records? Now let's see. Whenever you are inserting the records, please verify, do we have any mandatory fields available inside my object or not? We don't have that much mandatory fields. Name is a mandatory field is available. Okay, now supply the value for those fields. Now for example here, I would like to insert some records. Whatever the records I have exported, I would like to take the copy of this. Okay, now I'm changing this a file name here. Now, so these are totally 35 records are available inside my object, but I don't want 35. I'm going to be removing most of the records here. Okay, I'll remove that. I don't want ID column also because I want to insert the records here. Now, I want to insert some records information inside my object. So I'm giving that name value. Like as data loader account 1. So I would like to insert the 5 records here. Data loader account 1, data loader account 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 records I would like to insert. I am giving the type value here. I am giving the type value. For 3 records, I am giving the type as customer direct, and for the remaining 2 records, I am giving that value as prospect. Next one, the phone number here. I am preparing the phone number value. I am giving the fax number also. Account number, I am indicating the value here. I am supplying the value. Email ID, I am indicating like as some salesforce.com. Some I am indicating rediffmail.com. Industry, I am giving like as banking. All are banking. Banking industry. Annual revenue, I am indicating the different values. Like some 25 lakhs. And here some 30 lakhs. And here the 40 lakhs. Here's 50 lakhs. And the 60 lakhs. Ownership I am giving like as public. Rating value I am indicating as hard. Active status I am indicating as yes. Here also yes. These are the 5 records are there here. I would like to insert right now into my object here. Now in this case you can raise a question. Sir, upon inserting the records by using data loader, okay, will the validations will fire? Everything will be getting fired automatically. Validations also will fire, and then your sharing rules also will fire, workflow rules also will fire, process builders also will fire. Each and every automated actions will be getting fired automatically by default. Okay? So now let me insert these 5 records into my object here. So I would like to save these records. I am going to be giving that name as account inserts.csv. I am inserting the records here. Now, so now let me close this file. So now here I am having that file with the name accounts inserts. Then how to insert the records? Now let's see practically here. So this is the file that we have. Inside my file, I don't have any ID column here. I'm not supplying any ID column inside this. I haven't supplied any ID column, only the name, value, type, phone, fax, account number, website, industry. These are the columns I have supplied here. Okay, now, so let's go to the data loader. Click on insert. In which object you are inserting the records now? Account object. Select the object as account. Now, where is the records? What is the data source? Select the CSV file where exactly the records information is available. Click on browse. Select the file in which the account records has been placed, which you are trying to be inserting. Click on open. Click on next button. Now it is indicating your operation will contain 5 records. Now the count is correct because we have indicated 5 records inside my object. Click on OK. Now whenever I am going to be inserting the records available inside my Excel sheet, now in Excel sheet we are having the column. This column values has to be stored in which fields inside my account object. So now we can specify the column names here. Okay, specify the column. These are the Excel sheet column headers, and then in which field you want me to insert here. So that we have to map the columns information. Now here you are having a button called as create or edit a map. Now map that columns here. We can able to map manually or we can able to map automatically also. If you want to map automatically, we are having a button called as auto match fields to columns so that it will be mapping that. Because in Excel sheet, the column names are exactly similar like as my field names over here. For example, In the Excel sheet, if the column names are different, then now let me show you in this case. Now, in my Excel sheet, the column names are different. Now, instead of type, I am indicating that the customer type. The phone I am indicating like as contact number. I am indicating that the customer fax, and then website, industry, and I am indicating that revenue. Ownership, I am indicating like as customer rating, and then active status. Okay, active status. So now in this case, what happened? Inside my Excel sheet, the column names are different from the field names here. Now let me save. Okay, now. Okay, now. So now my file is available. Now let's try to map this information. Click on insert. Select the object in which you would like to insert the records. Select the Excel sheet where exactly the data source is available. Click on open. Go to the next button. It is indicating there are 5 records are available inside my Excel sheet. So now the count is correct. Now map the columns here. These are the Excel sheet column names. Now in these columns here, whatever the data is available, in which field you want me to insert over here. Click on edit or create map. Now we need to map the columns here. Once you click on auto match fields to columns, only some columns has been mapped over here. Because inside my Excel sheet, the column name is industry. In my field also, column name is, in my object also, column name is industry. So that this has been mapped. What about the remaining columns here? These column names are different from my field name. So now we have to map manually. Here these are the column field names are available to you. This is the Excel sheet column headers. This is the object fields here. Okay. Now I want to store active status value should be in the active column here. So now I'm mapping the just drag and drop. Okay. Contact number should be in the form of what? In which field? Phone field. We are having that phone field. Contact number, phone field. And then fax in the fax field. Customer rating in the rating field. Customer type field. Annual revenue is the annual revenue field. Any other columns here? All the columns we have mapped. In this case, if the Excel sheet columns and your object fields both are same, it will be mapping automatically. If the Excel sheet column names are different from your field names, then we have to map those columns manually by our own by using drag and drop facility. Okay? Now click on OK. Click on next button where you want me to save that success file and the error file. So now here I would like to save in that same location over here. I would like to select the location. Inside my D drive, I would like to go to that location here. And the data loader exports. So this is the location where exactly I would like to place that Excel sheet here. Now click on finish. So in this case, it is generating the 2 files, success file and the error file. Now it is indicating that your operation has fully completed. There were 5 successful inserts and 0 errors. 5 records have been inserted successfully. Now let's go to that. You will be having the 2 files are available. Success file, error file is available. Okay, even though my operation is completed successfully, it is generating 2 files over here. Let's open that success file. So now we can able to see this information. These are the records which I am trying to insert. For these records, it is indicating that these are the IDs has been generated by Salesforce over here. When you come to the last, it will be adding a status column here. Now it is indicating item created. That means a new record has been created successfully inside your object here. What kind of operation you have done? It will be indicating clearly item created. That means record has been created successfully. Okay? Clear? Now. So in this case, it is generating that both the files to you, success file and the error file here. Now when you go to the file names, the file name is looking like this. This is the file name here. So what is this file name format? Why it is indicating like this? Success and 11231910 like that. Now, so this is what? This is the date time format. Date time stamp. Okay. This is the date time stamp here. Now it is indicating that 11th is nothing but the month, date, year, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. Okay. So this is the format here. So now it is going to be generating the success file and the error file based on the date time stamp value. Okay. Now, both error file and the success file will be having that both the same date time stamp, but to differentiate that they have added that success here, there they have added error. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. So now both the files will be getting generated by adding the date time stamp value inside this. Okay. Clear? Next one. Next one, we are going to be updating the records over here. Okay. How to update the records inside your object here? In order to update the records, what we need? Record ID is required or not here? Record ID is required. In order to update the records, we need that record ID. Based on the record ID only, we can able to update the records inside your object here. Okay. Now, so now let's see. I want to use that same sheet. This is the success file. I'm using that. I would like to create a copy of this file so that I can able to make use of this file to update the field values. Now, so these are the fields are available here. Okay. Now I want to update the industry value for this account records here. Okay, for this account records, I want to update this industry values. Remaining values I don't want to update here. Industry and the annual revenue. I'm updating right now. Instead of industry banking, I want to specify the industry as education. Now, annual revenue values I'm changing over here. Now 30 lakhs and the 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs and the 70 lakhs. These are the values here. I want to update these values. Before that, let me verify inside my Salesforce instance whether these 5 account records are available or not. So now go to your account object. Get all the account records whose name is starting with the character sum D. We are having these records are available. Data loader account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 records are available. Industries banking, annual revenues like these values are available here. 25, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now I am going to changing this industry to education over here. Let's see how can we do that. So now here I am saving this file. In order to update the record, we need that record ID mandatorily. Without the record ID, we can't update that record here. Okay, it's a mandatory thing. So now let's save this file. I'm indicating the file name as accounts updates CSV. Okay. So I'm going to be updating the records here available inside my account object. Now click on save button. The file has been saved successfully. So now the file is available. Now I want to update the records by using that CSV file. Click on update operation. Select the object in which you would like to update the records. Now select the file where exactly the records are available, which you are going to be updating. I'm having the file with the name accounts updates. Now click on next button. Now it is indicating your operation contains 5 records, so now the count is correct. We have specified only the 5 records information inside this. Now these are the columns are available which you would like to update now. Now map the columns information. Once you click on create or edit map, now click on auto match fields to columns. Now 3 columns have been mapped automatically. 1 column we need to map. Here I have given that simply revenue column here inside my Excel sheet. Now this value I want to store inside my annual revenue field inside my account object here. Okay, map the columns. Now click on OK. Whatever the columns are available, we have to map the columns. Now click on next button. Now where you want me to save that, the success and the error files. I want to save that success and error files in the same location. Now click on finish. Now yes, I want to update those records. Now it is indicating that there were 5 successful updates and the 0 errors. Now let's go to your folder location, see that success file which has been generated recently. So now I would like to fetch the records over here. These are the 2 files has been generated right now based on the date modified. I have used that. Open that success file. Now it is indicating that. Okay, now it is indicating that these are the records has been updated. Now it is indicating the status as item updated. That means record has been modified successfully. Let's go to your Salesforce instance. Please verify this. Previously we are having the banking and 25 lakhs onwards. Now refresh this user interface. Now we are having education. It is starting from 30 lakhs onwards here. Like that we can able to update the records also inside your object by using data loader. Not only we are performing the operations on 1 record, we can perform the operations on multiple records also. Okay, clear? Now, so now we have some more actions are available. We'll see in that next session here. Okay, so now for this admin we'll be having one more session on next Saturday. We'll be taking up and then we'll be discussing about the concept of reports and dashboards also. And then we'll see that for the morning 10:30 batch, we are having one more action is there as part of workflow. That is time dependent action and the assigning the task. We'll see that here. Okay, so that we can complete the admin part from next Saturday onwards here. Okay, Monday we'll be having the session as usual. Okay, the same timings.